Hi guys, so this is gonna be the first video on finishing the study guide for the trigonometry unit. So, number one, given the following trig ratios, what is the length of segment AC? Segment AC is this segment here. So let's put an x variable. Let's find the value of x. That'll be the value for AC. So the main angle in this problem is angle A. So I want to use angle A as well here as my main angle. Now let me label my triangle. This is going to be my opposite side. Opposite, this is going to be my hypotenuse, and there's nothing for my adjacent. There's no value for my adjacent. So I only have my opposite and the hypotenuse side. So using my SOHCAHTOA, which of these three uses O and H? That's sine. Sine of A is equal to opposite, which is 20, over hypotenuse, which is x. So I have sine of A and I have sine of A as well over here. Both of these are sine of A. That means this value here and this value here are equal. So I'm going to take 4 over 5 and set it equal to 20 over x. Then I can apply the butterfly method. I get 4x equals 20 times 5, 100. Then divide by 4. Divide by 4. I get x equals 25. So here x equals 25, or segment AC equals 25. That's my answer. Then the next one, number 2. So this is supposed to be triangle. It's supposed to be similar and triangle. So given that these two triangles are similar and cosine of D is 12 over 13, I want to find sine of C, cosine of C, and tangent of C. Well, one thing that I know is that whatever ratio I get for using this angle, it'll be the same ratio as using this angle. Alright, so let me label the sides over here. It's going to be the opposites. So over here, this will be the opposite. This is the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse, and the remaining side is going to be the adjacent. So sine of C, it's going to be using sine. Well, we know it's opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of C, remember, it's going to be the same thing as sine of F. And sine of F is opposite, 12 over 13. So sine of C, it will also be 12 over 13. Cosine of C, again, I'm just using this angle instead of C, and the ratios will be the same. Cosine of C, well, cosine is adjacent, which is 5 over hypotenuse, 5 over 13. And the remaining one, tangent of C, again C, I'm going to use F. So tangent is opposite over adjacent. It will be 12 over 5. 12 over 5. And that's the solution for that one. Then we have number 3. So if the sine of D equals 0.6 and segment AC equals 10, what is the length of BC? I want to know this length here on the bottom. I want to know this. So let's label it x. Also, I know that sine of D, well, let's see, D over here, sine of this is 0.6. Well, remember that sine of D, it'll be the same thing as sine of A. So sine of A is also 0.6 or 0.6. So this is 0.6 and this is also 0.6. Okay, because they're both corresponding angles. Then AC is equal to 10. AC, that's this, is equal to 10. Alright, this is supposed to be a 10. So here I get my opposite is x, and 10 is my hypotenuse. So which one between sine, cosine, and tangent uses O and H? And that's sine. Sine of A is equal to opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 10. And remember that we know that sine of A is the same thing as sine of D. So sine of D, we know it's 0.6, so sine of A, it'll be also 0.6. Here we get two sines of A's. That means that this has to be equal to this. So let's make an equation. X over 10. This is equal to 0.6. 0.6. If you want to see like the actual fraction here, 0.6, it'll be the same thing as putting 0.6 over 1. Nothing changed. I just put it over 1. It's the same. Now I can use the butterfly method. X times 1 gives me x equals 10 times 0.6 is equal to 6. So x is equal to 6. That means BC is equal to 6. My answer is 6. Alright, let's go on to the following problem. Number 4. It says that it started with a 5, 12, and 13 right triangle. So 5, 12, and 13 stand for the measurements of the triangle. Triangle HKI, so this triangle on top, and then reflected it horizontally to get a congruent triangle JKI. So what he did, he just reflected it over like this. And he gets that the length of HK is 5 centimeters. So HK is 5 centimeters. We know that he reflected it, so this measurement here has to be the same as this measurement here. This also 5 centimeters. Those are two things that I know. Darren claimed the following. He claimed that HK is 5 centimeters. Okay. Then JK is also 5 centimeters. Because they're congruent sides. That's true. We just said it. So that's true. This one's true. And it says, using the Pythagorean theorem, the length of HI is 12 and KI is 13. Well, H and I, he said that it was 12, and KI, he said that it was 13. Well, check this out. If this is 13 and this is 12, there's no way that this side here is more than the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the longer side in a triangle. So there's no way this can be 12 and this 13. This has to be the bigger number. So right away there, I know this is not true. And it says, therefore, tangent of IJK is 13 over 5. Tangent of IJK. Remember, IJK, we're pretty much talking about angle J. So it's IJK. We're talking about this angle. Alright, this angle. So that's the opposite, 13. This is the hypotenuse, which, because it was reflected, it's also 12. And this is the adjacent. This is the adjacent. And this is the opposite. Alright, so my tangent of this angle should have been, tangent is opposite over adjacent, 13 over 5, which that's what he got, 13 over 5. This is true, and it would be true if this one was correct, which is not correct. It says, sadly, Darren went wrong somewhere. Find his mistake and correct it. He made a mistake here. He placed the 13 as the base and the 12 as the hypotenuse. If I were to correct it, I would place my triangle. On my triangle, I would switch this 12 to 13. and the 13 to 12. So this hypotenuse will also be 13, and there you go. So this is the correct version of it. So sorry, that should be 13. This is the correct version of it. 13, 12, 13, 5, and 5. So therefore, my actual tangent of this angle should be 12 over 5. So first off, I would have the correct version of it. Ki should equal 12, that is this, and hi should be 13. Hi should be 13. Also, tangent of j, tangent of angle ijk should be equal to 12 over 5. So these are pretty much my two corrections. Hi is 13 and Ki is 12. And this tangent of ijk should be 12 over 5. It'll be 12 over 5, opposite over adjacent, tangent. All right, that's the answer for the first page of the first for the study guide.